in a hell of a hole. Was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy.
As a young black man, I feel that I have an obligation to my race of people. Not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people. As a young black man, I feel that I have an obligation to my race of people. Not to no other race or no other nationality, just to black people.
But there's so many lies that we believe and so many doctrines within doctrines in the Christian church. Like they say, plead the blood of Jesus. What the hell does that mean? The prophets of the Lord are being rose up again in this time period to bring back the Lord's chosen people. That's and right. To stand on our feet and be those people again. That
your ancestors wasn't junkies. They wasn't getting high and, you know what I mean, hating one another and killing one another. You know why? Because they was being killed by the slave master. They wasn't, your ancestors had a different mindset. And if you really think about it, our ancestors were stronger than us and they were better than us. You know why? Because they knew they had an enemy and they knew who their enemy was. Today, black people don't know who your enemy is.
How the hell you think we got this truth? The ISUPK didn't come out of thin air. This truth comes from slaves, remembering that they were the children of Israel. We are the children of God. And if you don't understand it yet, you will understand it. We will bring it to you. We will get it through your brain that you are God's chosen people. And there is no dream. There is no thing. There is no success without learning who you are as a people.
Cops wanna kill me cause I'm black. Ops wanna drill me cause I'm black. Can't get no job cause I'm black. She wanna fuck me cause I'm black. Her dad don't like me cause I'm black. But she Hispanic so she black. Ain't got no time for none of that. Bitch, I'm a Jude, so I'm black. Cops wanna kill me cause I'm black. Ops wanna drill me cause I'm black. Can't get no job cause I'm black. She wanna fuck me cause I'm black. Her dad don't like me cause I'm black. But she Hispanic so she black. Ain't got no time for none of that. Bitch, I'm a Jude, so I'm black. I can't fight the cops.
Ooh, 27 Club.
All right, gang, let's really nail it this time. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UPK ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UPK ain't nothing, we on fellowship. Florida Lee's on my top, it's a Saints hat. This the third camp he been in, he a J-Cat. Niggas tryna steal the sauce, yeah, I hate that. But I ain't make the rules, I can't change that. New bottle, new wine, yeah, I can't crack. Look, flag on the plate, they grabbing face masks. Niggas always saving hoes where your cape at. The only killer that you know without no face tag. Hell yeah, my bitch bad, Proverbs 31. Yeah, this is not a drill, I be 30'd up. Yeah, about to crack the sky, you better hurry up. It's all bad when you see us hang that jersey up. It's mad brick, I got the blick with my cover on. He a fed, he a op, got his cover blown. Look, I'm really outside without no skelly on. It's one West, bitch, I'm on with my brothers on. He got ranked, then he left, he broke another oath. I got the play, we about to take another zone. They was sleeping on the team, now they comatose. Left his brother out to dry, I guess he wanna fold. Put the oil on his head, that's another soul. I try to tell you we a pro, don't do this shit at home. She ain't happy, left her man, she a 304. He tried to justify that shit, he broke the penal code. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat, nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UP cat, nothing, we on fellowship. Gotta watch these niggas, they be cointel. Lil' bro ain't never killed nobody, but I know he will. It's on me everywhere I go, yeah, that's the holy seal. My niggas itching when it's up, you better not touch a chair. Ooh, I'm with the extra, that's off the back. He ain't loyal to his brothers, how you follow that? She either working with her hands or she off her bag. Broke bitches, yeah, they down there give me heart attacks. You see that banner from my head, I'm a part of that. These niggas cowards, pussies, we don't want no parts in that. They let our warrior out of prison, he ain't going back. Ain't no be speaking on the truth, cause we with all of that. Look, before they started dissing, there was fans first. You will never catch me digging in no man purse. Really put my brick in, that's why my hands hurt. And don't be speaking bullshit that make my head hurt. Look, I done burn my fingers from the Michael Drake. But for the brotherhood, I done threw my life away. I never see him, tell them come on from their hiding place. We can't do it, we told them we gon' find a way. They rather march 1,000 deep, we rather feed the people. They wouldn't put on all black, now you reading Hebrew. UPK the standard, if you speak on Hebrews, don't think they solid, get with them niggas just gon' leave you. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UPK nothing, we on fellowship. Been in this shit for some years, I ain't never left. Nigga try to save his life like he's scared of death. I got Hellstar on my body, bitch, I'm heaven sent. Hey, this UPK nothing, we on fellowship.
All right, let's clap it up. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Priest Officer Thawah Gabar, man. We're about to go and get this part 2 of these prophecies in Deuteronomy and how they reveal who God's chosen people are. We got halfway through, and we're going to continue on that. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about the things that's been going on, the current events. Now, about if you could give me the story of this Cyrus Carmack, this 14-year-old brother who was shot in the back by an Asian store owner. And what they're saying is because he had a gun, they felt like he was going to shoot him, right? But there's no camera, nothing like that. Well, they came down with a not guilty verdict for this store owner. And of course, Black people are enraged. People are upset. People feel that it is a miscarriage of justice, and he got off. Similar to Latasha Harkins, and I believe it was 1993 that was shot in the back or shot in the side of the head. I can't remember, over a bottle of orange juice. Okay, so let's get that story and let's go into that, and then we might have something else before we go into the topic.
It says South Carolina jury finds store owner not guilty of murder and killing of teen Black. It's like a Black teen, so like it's from CNN. A South Carolina jury on Monday found a store owner not guilty of murder in the 2023 shooting of a black 14-year-old. The jury returned the verdict for Chike Rick Chow, 61, who was Asian, shot Cyrus Carmack Belton in the back after chasing him from his convenience store in Columbia, but maintained he acted to defend his son. The killing sent waves of anguish and grief through the African American community in Richland County, where nearly half the population is black. After the verdict was read, sobs and cries of distress could be heard coming from Carmack Belton's family seated in the gallery. Chow sat silently frozen before slowly blowing his head onto his interlocked hands. Prosecutors and a defense lawyer in closing arguments painted different pictures of the 2023 shooting. Prosecutors said Chow acted in anger because he wrongfully thought the teen had stolen 4 bottles of water from the store. A defense lawyer said Chow fired to defend his son only after the teen pointed a gun at him. This case is not about a shoplifter. This case is about a father who sees a gun pointed at his son and had to make a decision. Defense attorney Sean Kent told jurors during closing arguments. The defense attorney said, Now, I just want you to understand, they said that this 14-year-old pointed a gun at his son. If you look at the video, the boy walks out and the father and the son follow him and start to chase him. The boy takes off running. What Iba just read was that Chow, the Asian store owner, said he had to make a split-second decision because the 14-year-old pointed the gun at his son. So how did the 14-year-old brother get shot in the back if he was pointing a gun at someone? That doesn't even add up. It doesn't make sense. Is there any more? Keep reading. It says prosecutors acknowledged Carmack Belton had a semi-automatic pistol, but they say it fell to the ground during the chase, and he never threatened anyone with it. Prosecutors said Chow chased the teen more than 130 yards from the store. Solicitor Brian E. Gibson told jurors that Chow chased the kid.
He chased him more than the length of a football field. 100 and how much?
130 yards.
130 yards from the store over, a bottle of water that should be under $1. Okay, a bottle of water, that's what he chased him for. Believing that this boy took a bottle of water, and like they said, he was angry, and the black community is upset because we've all experienced this. How many of y'all experienced going into an Asian establishment and being followed or being suspected of stealing? I have. How many people online how many black people online have went into a store and been followed around? Plenty of them. I'm sure damn near everybody has been followed around. Maybe unless you're an elderly black person, that probably you're probably the only demographic that is exempt from being followed around when you go into an establishment that is owned by Asian people, whether it be a beauty supply, whether it be a convenience store or what have you, or a liquor store. Is there any more?
Oh.
Let me hear it.
It says during closing arguments, Gibson placed a bottle of water before jurors. Gibson said that Chow, at the end of the day, believed that a human is not more than that.
I'm sorry. Read that part again.
It says during closing arguments, Gibson placed a bottle of water before jurors. Gibson said that Chow, at the end of the day, believed that a human is not more than that.
Damn. Now the prosecution said put a bottle of water in front of everybody and said that Chow believed that this 14-year-old black boy's life was less than a bottle of water. And that is the sentiment that black people have gotten. And many people have made the parallel between the sister Latasha Harlins in Los Angeles and this brother, Cyrus Carmack Belton. If you could, give me the story of Latasha Harlins, Los Angeles, 1993. There are stark similarities. And the main similarity is that black children are looked at as adults, are treated as adults. Okay. whether it be Asians, whether it be white people, whether it be other black people. There's this thing about a black youth, about a black teenager, that they are looked at as being older than their actual age. They are treated in a way that is as if they are not a child. They are not given the consideration of a child. Should I bring up Emmett Till? Should I bring up Trayvon Martin? There are so many stories. Should I bring up George Stinney? There's so many stories I can bring up where it's clear that black youth are not treated as youth. They're treated as animals. They're treated as something that is not a child, but something that is an adult. They're given adult qualities as a child, like this brother, Cyrus Carmack Belton, or like the sister, Latasha Harlins, or like Emmett Till, or like Trayvon Martin. It's like the black children don't have the benefit of being treated like a child. You're going to be treated like an animal. You're going to be treated like an adult. There was a story with it was a teenage sister in high school, I believe, a few years back, where the police was wrestling with her on the ground and shot her and killed her. She was just a teenager. So time and time again, this happens over and over again. And this is not just going back 20, 30 years. This goes back 60, 50 years, 50 and 60 years. That's how long it goes back. You got that story?
Oh,
let me hear it.
Oh gosh, like this is from EBSCO, the Latasha Harlins murder.
Mm-hmm.
Latasha Harlins was a 15-year-old African-American girl who was shot and killed over a $1.79 bottle of orange juice in a liquor store in South Central Los Angeles on March 16th, 1991. The incident involved a confrontation with the store owner, Soon Ja-do, a Korean woman who shot Harlins in the back of the head, and the act was captured on security video.
Yeah, you can go look that up if you want to. Now, this clerk, this store owner, what was her name? This Korean store owner shot Latasha in the back of the head. And she did no time. Is it going to say, does it get to that? She did no time at all. Go ahead.
Oh God, this is where it says Soon Ja-do was convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but received probation. A verdict that sparked outrage within the African American community and led to increased hostility towards Korean-owned businesses.
And this also was before the Los Angeles Rodney King riots. So this was part of the tension building high between the black and Korean or black and Asian communities. Anything else on that?
So like this incident, along with the Rodney King case, contributed to the civil unrest and riots that erupted in Los Angeles in 1992.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said. Where that was a precursor to what happened with Rodney King, and Rodney King was just, that was it. You know what I mean? People had enough after seeing the video of Rodney King, and that created the riots, just the disrespect of black life. This is another example of the disrespect of the humanity of black and Hispanic children, of like our children are not looked at as children, and they hold themselves not guilty for the things that they do. If you could give me that, what is that? Zechariah 5:11 or 11:5? 11:5? 11:5. I understand that black people are upset right now. I've seen black people say, now's the time to not support any Asian business right now. But are our people actually going to do that? Right. Now, individually, yes, you're going to have black people that said, this is my last time patronizing an Asian business. I'm not going back to an Asian business. But as a whole, our people are not on code. Our people don't care or love themselves or each other enough to say, we're going to stick together in solidarity and boycott all Asian businesses. That's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? That it could happen, but it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? The fact that we don't even know who we are is the reason why I can say this. Because we don't even care to learn who we are. In fact, if we cared to learn who we were as a group of people, then the unity that we've been talking about for decades and decades would be a no-brainer. It would be easy to do, but it's very hard to do when you have Black people that believe in all type of things, that have different levels of morality, that some Black people are okay with doing drugs and they see it as no problem. Some Black people are okay with committing crimes as long as no one knows about it. We have different levels of morality, so we can't even come together on the most basic things. You understand? And that is the most basic things would be who we are as a group of people. Now, you go ask some of those people. You go ask, when you look at the Black community, and we're going to get a little bit into that, about why Asian businesses are even in the Black community. But when you look at these different industries, most of the time, these people have a lock on that industry, right, whether it be donut shops, convenience stores, or beauty supply stores in where you live at. And you should ask yourself why. And it's very easy. It's because they know who they are. They have an identity, so it's easy for them to stick together, right, unlike Black people. Okay, go ahead.
Like, if I could, I was just going to say what you're saying is so heavy because it's true. Everything about them being in the hood is evident because 5 minutes down the street that way is the Waterman swap meet, famously.
Right.
Known for the jewelers and all the Korean-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, if these people hate us so much and they got so much animosity towards us, why do they move into our community? Take over, mm-hmm, because we're so easy to take advantage of. Because what you're saying is that we have no identity. So since we have no identity, it's so easy for them to come in and take over our communities because we don't know who we are. So they're gonna come over and take advantage of the liquor stores, the beauty supply stores, the jewelers, all of the donut shops. So it's like you're saying, what you're saying is heavy because it starts with us learning who we are first.
That's right. It starts with them. Exactly. And you definitely on point with that. It's like we cannot. We don't have any foundation, but everybody else around us does. And because we are a lost sheep, we're a lost people, we accept everything. So most Black people are on drugs or have some type of vice where they have to go. They go to the liquor store every day. They go to these same liquor stores every day. You know, they allow the Arabs out here, the Arabs allow niggas to hang out in front of the liquor store and sell drugs and do their thing. You know what I mean? They don't care. They're cool with you. And you got to go. I think if you could, could you look up what is the main, how can I say it? The main product sold in the liquor store. I was going to say that it's blunts and cigarettes. I believe it is. That's where they make the majority of their money. When you think about a liquor store, the majority of their money comes from the sale of cigarettes, like tobacco, blunts, and things of that nature, and probably vapes too, because that's in that category also. But this is why our people are going to these places. They're going to these places for vices. They're going to the smoke shops. I forgot about the smoke shops. Right. The smoke shops, usually you see a liquor store, and then right next to it is a smoke shop. Okay, this is the reason why this is our people going to these people. They're going to these people to get drugs, to get something that destroys them every day, that gives them cancer, that keeps them locked into a never-ending cycle of trying to scrape up money to get some cigarettes, scrape up money to get some blunts, to get some weed, to keep a habit going so you can cope, because you are people without an identity and you come from broken families. Right. So it's going to be very difficult for people like that's hooked on drugs to look at a people that supply these things for them in a negative way. You're good with Chinaman. That was a nickname we had for sometimes Chinaman. You good with Muhammad. You're good with them in your hood because they supply you blunts and cigarettes and alcohol, the same thing that is destroying you every day. So it's hard for you to look at them like, okay, you'll look at them like, okay, I know, the Asian man killed the 14-year-old, but I ain't gonna look at Chinaman that is in my neighborhood like that. I ain't gonna look at it like, man, none of y'all should be in my neighborhood making money off of my people, taking that money out of my community, and you would never hire me. You would never hire me. You understand? You would never say, hey, they would never look at your people and say, and see the poverty of your people, see you struggling. Damn near, they don't even want to let you slide. If you short 5 cents, they don't want to let you slide. You understand? They see the poverty, get rich, send their children to university, send money back home off of your money and your resources in your community when that should be going to you. But because you don't have an identity, you look at everybody as though it's all good while they're supplying you with the thing that is killing you and literally killing you. Go ahead.
Oh God. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5.
Yeah, did you get anything? Did you find anything? Let me hear.
It's the main product deferred distinctly by store. Liquor stores specialize primarily in packaged pre-alcohol beverages. That's the number one thing. And in convenience stores, it's tobacco products.
Tobacco products. So the number one thing is alcohol and tobacco products. And we know in the hood, you going in there to get cigarettes. And sometimes black people so poor, they figured out the store people will break down a pack of cigarettes and sell singles. They'll sell you singles, you know what I mean, to get rich off you while you destroying and killing your body. But that's the main thing you did for. And I forgot. And the flavor blunts. And they looking at you like you're a damn kid. Because as soon as you walk in there, they're saying, hey, brother, I got the new Apple. I got the Apple caramel blunts. I got the grape blunts. I got the new grape. I got the new flavors. I got the new this, do that. Something that's going to destroy you. And you happy as hell to poison your body, to destroy yourself. Because we're people without an identity. And we don't see it like that. We don't see it like there's a people that are selling poison to us and we love it. We love it. It's a people that's literally selling poison to us and we love it. You know what I mean? I mean, it wouldn't make any difference if who it was selling you the poison, but it's even more, it's worse that it's a people that would never hire you, that will never support your causes, that will never reinvest money in your communities, that is selling you that poison. Go ahead, Abba. Khan.
Oh God, the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
This is what happened with this case with Cyrus Carmack Belton and Chow. They held themselves not guilty, and black people are upset at Asians, but that's rightfully so. But there's one more thing you need to remember, is that this whole system and this setup is created by the white man. This judicial system is created by your oppressor for people to get off, for people who have money and have the means to get off, for them to slap you in the face with an unfair verdict because of racial prejudice. It's simple as that. If you're a black person and you have a firearm and somebody kills you and you have a firearm in your possession when you die, what this case is basically saying is that you are a free life. You are a free life that someone can take. You are a free life that somebody can get off, because what are they going to do? They're going to flip it. In this case, they can't, there's no video of what the defense said happened, where they said that he pointed a gun at his son, and so he had to make a split-second decision and shoot him. There's no video of that. The only video you have is his wife following the 14-year-old around the minute he walks into the store. She literally is following him around. Go look at the video. She's following him around like the shit out of the movies. Hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. Then they accuse him of having something, and he says he don't have anything, and he left. The video proves that he never even took anything. He didn't take no water at all. So the only video that they have is him being followed. The video proves that he didn't take any water, and then them chasing him. And now you have to rely on the words of this angry Chinese man that profiled this 14-year-old. You gotta lean on his words as being truth, where he took a gun, ran with his son, and chased him down whole time. None of them is looking at the damn video, obviously, because the video showed he didn't take anything. He picked up some water and put it back down. But you got to rely on his word. The angry Chinese man that chased the black boy 130 yards from the store where there is no camera. And of course, after you kill him and the police find him and find a gun, it's easy to say, oh, he pulled a gun. I fear for my life. But what about black people that are legal gun carriers? Because this is a 14-year-old boy. He wasn't supposed to have no gun in the first place. I'm not negating that. I'm not going to gloss over that. But if you're if you can legally carry a gun, what about you now? Right. You get into an altercation, you might as well not be. What that is saying is that if you legally have a gun and get into it with a store owner about you picking up something that you put back, you didn't, and he's chasing and pursuing you, and he ends up unaliving you, taking your life, now they can say it's justified. So what is that also saying? Maybe you need to blow him down before he blow you down. It's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. It's better to be in a courtroom fighting a case than in a body bag, getting put in a wooden case. That's what it's saying. So like it, we in the IHBK, we don't condone violence. What we do condone is what the Lord condones is self-defense. Right. Now, the way they chased that boy out, had that been somebody that anybody, it's well within their rights to defend themselves. Right. Somebody is chasing you, pursuing you, and you ain't did nothing. It's well within your rights to defend yourself. Okay. Let me hear that one more time, my bot.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5.
Excuse me.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
These people have for so long, all these nations have done things to God's chosen people. And even when they are wrong, they hold themselves not guilty. They don't feel what our people feel. They don't have the remorse and the humanity that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have a humanity that you can't find anywhere else in the world, because anywhere else in the world, people seek revenge. People seek to destroy and avenge themselves and their ancestors and their people. The only people you find that have not sought revenge but sought to get along is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right. We are the only people that say, let's let bygones be bygones. Let's move on from this. Let's have talks. Let's come together and figure out ways that we can coexist together in a better way. Other people, they go to war. Now you have a lot of white supremacists that say, the white supremacists, you can't feed the trolls all the time, but the white man is the devil. So they're going to say what they're going to say. And many white people are, they're very, what's the word? I don't know if I can find a word for the things that they saying. Like basically that this 14-year-old, he deserved it because he had a gun and he shouldn't have robbed the place. A lot of them, their brains work on a one-track, hate rail. So they kind of like, they only see a lot of times they only see Democrat, Republican. You know what I mean? They only see one way, and the Lord created them one way. You know what I mean? To say black people are criminals and white people don't do no crime. White people are just benevolent and they don't do any crime. They don't commit crimes. They don't annihilate their families. They don't commit the most sexual crimes. They don't do none of that. They're just lily white and crime free. And we know that's a lie. But one of the things that they say is that he shouldn't have had a gun. The thing about this whole situation is, I said it earlier, a 14-year-old should not have no gun, right? But let's rewind before we knew he had a gun. How many times have you been inside of a supermarket and you've been around somebody that had a concealed gun? You don't know.
Right.
The point is, people are all around you, wherever you at, unless they have metal detectors. They're all around you in public spaces with legal or illegal guns, and you never knew it. You never knew it because no crime was committed. You never knew it because there was no incident that happened. You never knew it. So bump the gun thing. Let's go back to the fact that he was racially profiled and he didn't steal anything. He was accused and chased down and he didn't do anything. Let's go back to that. But see, they have a one-track mind and a low IQ, and they're so full of hate, which is it's all good. It's okay. It's okay that they cannot see the truth. They cannot see the common sense and the logic in the situation, because white people only feel compassion when it's their people. And a good example of that is the white woman on the train, Irina Zaruski or something like that was stabbed. Also, Austin Metcalf. White people were so angry about that with Carmelo Brown. Is that his name? The brother that supposedly stabbed the white football player. Yeah. They upset about that. They're upset, but they never read the police report. I read the police report. Austin Metcalf was a bully. Unfortunately, he effed around and found out, but he was the aggressor in the police report. But they never read that. You know what? It doesn't even matter, because they identify with their people and they feel compassion for other white people. When it's black and brown people, they assume that you are the criminal. And black and brown people, you need to start assuming every time there's a situation, there's another race that is involved against black and brown people, you need to start assuming they are the criminal instead of assuming your people are wrong and always the criminal. Okay? I bought, where we at? You said what? Was there any more on that?
Come on.
Let me hear it.
And they sell them, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. So
this goes into, you know, this is twofold, because this goes into also ancient times when the Israelites went into captivity, all the way into the modern time of the transatlantic slave trade. You can use this for the Africans that rounded up Israelites and sold them to Europeans, and you can use this for the Europeans. Read that again.
Oh God. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
They say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And you can literally go into history and parallel this up with the Europeans was taking things out of the Bible in order to make slavery seem like it was good and seem like it was fundamentally Christian, like it was something that God ordained, when it was never that. Okay, you could drop that. So let's see. Is there anything else? Go ahead, Abba.
Like, if I could, another thing they say, they do something heinous against, us, and they say, God bless America. God bless America.
Yeah, God bless America. And how in the hell can God bless America if it's a place of damnation? How can a place that does everything against God be blessed of that same God? Well, the God of America must not be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It must be the God. Satan must be their God. Satan, the Zionists must be their God. The Moloch must be their God. That must be their God. Baal must be their God. Not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not the God in the Bible. If we could, so let's get to get back on to our topic now. We go back into our topic, how the prophecies in Deuteronomy 28 reveals that black people are God's chosen people. It reveals who God's chosen people are by the things, the curses and the blessings, and by the things that have transpired throughout history. And it also reveals who is not God's chosen people, who have never went through these things, but claim to be God's chosen people. Or they might have an idea of who God's chosen people are. Well, the Bible illustrates and specifically shows you in the scriptures without a shadow of doubt who those people are. So where did we leave off at, about? Let's hear it. Let's see if I can remember the last thing we talked about.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
So did we go over this part? Well, I'll break it down again. That was 48. Let's hear it one more time.
The eagle, I swift as the eagle flies.
Let's get 48. Let's start at 48 one more time.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
You in want of all things. What illustrates this so clearly right now with the brother, the 14-year-old that was just unalive and the Asian man got off not guilty, is a miscarriage of justice. You are in want of true justice. You are wanting fairness. You're wanting to want fairness is to say, I don't want oppression. I want to be treated fairly. Oppression is to be treated unfairly by a government, by a force. And you want fairness. You want equity. You're still asking for it right now in 2026 to be treated like a human being while your children get shot in the back like a damn dog. I wanted to cuss so bad, right? So keep reading.
Okay.
I'm sorry, read it from the top again.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
You'll serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against you. This is a news flash to people that don't know how the Lord works. Throughout the Bible, God's chosen people, the Israelites, when they rebelled against the Lord and didn't do what he said, how did the Lord punish them? How did the Lord punish his people when they did not do what he said? I want somebody online to comment. How did the Lord punish his people whenever they disobeyed his commandments? Whenever they went off and served other gods? Whenever they did their own thing and profaned the temple in the land of Israel? How did he punish them? We know he punished them, but how did he punish them? Let me see. Shalat said he killed him, right? He killed him, but what means? What means did he kill him? You want to take a stab at it?
Stone him to death.
That's more of a personal thing. That's more of the law for somebody that did something. I'm talking about as a nation of people, as a group of people, as the whole nation of Israel. I'm not talking about an individual. Okay. So we'll just give it some time. Well, you got an idea about?
He would send another nation to handle it.
That's what I was looking for. The Lord will send another nation to do the dirty work, to put in work on his people. He would use another nation to do it. So read that from the top again.
Oh God, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Uh-huh.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
Thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. Right. He didn't say thou shalt serve thy enemies in which you were conquered by. He's saying, no, I will send them. Now, however they destroy you is how they destroy you, but it is of me is why this thing is happening. Go ahead.
And it's like in nakedness, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
You got to go in thirst and nakedness and want of all things to another people, right? America has to go in thirst and nakedness. Well, America has to go in want of all electronic things to another nation. That other nation is China. Damn near all the products that we have come from another country, not produced in America. Computer chips and all. But God's people would be under a group of people where they have to go to them and want of all things, meaning how are we going to eat? How are we going to put clothes on our back? How are we going to get money to stimulate, to the economy in order to take care of our community? How are we going to get electricity? How are we going to get water? How are we going to, even if you own your own business as a black and brown person, if you own your own business, you still got to go to another people to get those your products. You got to go to another people if you own a construction company to get your building supplies. You got to go to another people. I don't know of black people that own a timber company, own a water company, own the electric company. When you get to the top, who's owning all of this stuff?
Right.
Another nation of people that is not you. Keep reading that, Bob.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck until he have destroyed you. That is physically, and it is literally. I'm sorry, and it is spiritually. It's literally, meaning physical, and it's spiritual, meaning your ancestors literally had yokes of iron put on their neck in West Africa. Yokes of iron put on their neck in America. Spiritually, you have a yoke of iron on your neck in America. It's called oppression. It's called, waking up and working. I just seen a video where a brother has a excellent trade. When I was growing up, they say you should have got you a trade, get you a skill, get you a trade, so you have a good job and that makes good money and you can, live and retire and all of that good stuff. I just seen a video where a brother was like working a good, excellent trade that you would think he is surviving. He's making good money, but barely able to pay his car note and his house note. And he's struggling. And he's saying, why is that? Like, my whole life I was told to get a trade and to go into this field. Now he was doing construction. They was literally building a supermarket. But anyway, he was like, this is the hard, gritty work that they tell you, the old timers told you, get you a trade, get you something, that hard work, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But yet I'm barely surviving. Why is that? You barely surviving. It's hard for everybody. Read that again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
That's that yoke of iron. That's a spiritual yoke of iron. Until he have destroyed you. It's called oppression. It's called poverty. For some reason, people think that people that live in poverty don't want to do better for themselves.
Right.
I don't know why people think that. Some of the smartest people are people that live in poverty. Some of the wisest people are people that live in poverty. Some of the, nicest people are people that live, below the poverty line. You know what I mean? Some of the most deserving people that would work a job live below the poverty line.
Right.
You can't get the job. You're not in the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth. As swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So the Lord was going to bring, this is the curse to the Israelites. The Lord was going to bring a nation from the ends of the earth as swift as the eagle flieth. I believe the Assyrians had the symbol of the eagle. Let's just see. Assyrians had the symbol of the eagle. The Romans had the symbol of the eagle. Spain, Germany, all of these nations had the symbol of the eagle. But I want you to let's just zero in. Read it from the top again.
So like the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle fly.
As swift as the eagle fly. It has this nation or these nations. It could be one or many. We know that many nations that conquered the Israelites had the symbol of the eagle. Maybe it's talking about all of them, or maybe it's talking about one of them.
Right.
This is a twofold precept. You could use it. You can interchange this because many people had a symbol of eagle, right? Go ahead. As swift as the eagle flieth, whose language, what did it say? Whose tongue?
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
The tongue meaning the language. You wouldn't understand their language. Meaning the Israelites would speak a different language from these people. You wouldn't understand the words that were coming out of their mouth. Go ahead.
It's like a nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. These people, their countenance was fierce. How they looked. They had a fierce countenance. Go ahead.
Oh God. Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They would not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young, which is something that Israelites would do, something that God's chosen people would do. They would show respect unto their elders. Even if it's a person that is not their race, they would show respect to the old, and they would, understand that the youth are still learning. They're not sharp like that. They're in their youth. They don't, They would give some leeway. Not this nation. This nation showed no love, no regard for elderly people or very young people. Meaning they would treat the elderly in ways that you couldn't believe, and they would treat the young in terrible ways that you couldn't believe either. Keep going.
Oh God. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle. And why don't start breaking it down like we already know who it is? Now, when you think about what has just transpired with that young boy, where they don't show no favor to the young.
Right.
That was a clear-cut case of murder, and they allowed that man to get off. They don't show regard to the young.
Right.
When you go back, when the Europeans came to this land and they claimed manifest destiny, they unalived Native Indians and didn't show regard to the elderly or the young. You go look at the story of Wounded Knee, and they murdered women and children. You understand? You go and look at the records, and I got some records of what Black people said. You go and look at the records of how they treated children, and some of those stories will make you cry. They showed no favor to the young, and they worked Black people until they were old and gray. They showed no regard for the elderly.
Right.
A nation of fierce countenance. Okay, keep going.
Oh God. Like, and shall eat the fruit of thy land until that be destroyed.
And they ate the fruit of the land. When they came over and took this land from the Native American Indians, they killed off what was it about? 30 million or 300 million?
The buffalo?
Yeah. They killed off, I believe it was 300 million buffalo. They didn't even eat the buffalo. They hired white men to come and hunt buffalo. Paid them to come and hunt the buffalo. United States government hired white men. That's where one of the white men get his name, Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill gets his name because his claim is that he killed 4,000 buffalo. And they were killing the buffalo just to get to the Native American Indians, to starve the Native American Indians. Go ahead, Abad.
Oh God, I said it was over 40 million buffalo.
Okay, let's run it back. Excuse me. The 40 million buffalo. And then what was the number after they killed all of them?
Oh, from what it was to what it went.
Yeah, after they killed the buffalo. Yeah, you could go look that history up of Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill was known for killing. He got famous, and he was renowned for saying that he killed 4,000 buffalo. And they killed these buffalo. And you can go Google it. Go Google it. There's mountains. There's white men standing on mountains of buffalo skulls. And they did that in order to starve the Native American Indians. They chased them and pushed them out of the good lands. Go ahead, Abad.
It says the overall American bison population plummeted from an estimated starting peak from 30 million to 60 million animals, down to a devastating ending number of fewer than 1,000 survivors.
Fewer than from 30 million?
From 30 to 60 million, that was the starting range.
Uh-huh.
And then the ending number was fewer than 1,000.
I'm telling you, that was like a virus that swept through America. They dwindled the numbers of the buffalo from between 30 and 60 million down to less than 1,000 buffalo, meaning the white man almost made the buffalo, North American buffalo, extinct. Just so that he could starve the Native American Indians, because he knew it was their food source. In Native Indian stories, they would say that the white man would come and he would eat up and destroy the land. He would move from one plot of land to the next plot of land. After he done destroyed this land, he would move on, similar to like a virus or like a parasite that, you know, eats, and once it destroyed that, it moves on. That's exactly what happened. That is American history. Okay, you should learn it sometime. Where we at?
Verse 52. He shall besiege thee in all thy gates.
He shall besiege thee in all thy gates, meaning he shall go to war with you in all thy gates. That's twofold. That is modern time. That is the old time. That is the ancient time. That is the time of Jerusalem. He shall besiege you. We can read that. We can read that right in Babylon from Timbuktu. Go ahead, Abad. Read that again.
Oh God. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down.
Until thy high and fenced wall. Jerusalem was surrounded by high walls. Okay. But figuratively, any place would have a perimeter. Any encampment, any city would have a perimeter. Native American encampments had a perimeter. Everything would have a perimeter so that intruders can't get in. Those intruders would eventually get in if you did not keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You would eventually see your life change if you turned from serving the Lord, which is what this is saying and what actually happened in history. Keep going.
Until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest through all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates.
He shall besiege thee in all thy gates. And it said, where thou trusted, meaning you trust that. Like there is an invisible wall in America too, right? It's called the border. And it's called Homeland Security, right? That's an invisible wall of security that people have. They live in this invisible bubble of America that, you know, a missile can't hit America. America will never fall. It would always be the greatest nation forever and ever. We know that's a lie. We know that that's not reality according to the Bible. But that's the idea, is that they trusted in those walls in Jerusalem. They trusted in that even when not following the law, statutes, commandments and doing their own thing. Okay. And then even after that, as Israelites are spread to the four corners of the earth and setting up civilizations, they still trusted in those other gods and not God and not the Most High. And so those walls came crushing down. They were besieged, meaning an enemy came on the other side of those walls. Go ahead, Abad.
And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, the Lord thy God hath given thee.
And
thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters.
Now, this is historical. Now, this is something that actually happened in the siege of Jerusalem. If you could, Abad, do we have I'm sure we do have Babylon from Timbuktu. If it's not right here, there's one in that bookshelf in the back, in that back room, if it's not right here. And let's get that. Let's get what is that? I believe it's page 87. we'll read a little history about what we're reading right now in the Bible. Somewhere around there. I can't remember, but let me see. I know what I'm looking for. So, oh, this is withered. So like I got shades on. Look at this Babylon the Timbuktu. This one is it's not even yellow no more. It's it's white. Let's see. 84. Let's see. Yeah. So in the year. Just call out the page.
This is page 84 from Babylon to Timbuktu. It says, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state. With great slaughter during the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it's been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
So the Israelites, this history says the Israelites fled, 1 million fled into Northern Africa. Now, what this is talking about is General Pompey, Vespasian, and Titus, when they destroyed Jerusalem for good. So they came and destroyed, they besieged Jerusalem, and what they did was they cut off the water. They were around the city and they cut off the water sources. They didn't allow anything to go into the city. So over time, think about no supplies coming to America. Think about water resources being cut off. Over time, people begin to starve. And that's what we're about to be reading right here in Deuteronomy, this prophecy that would happen in Deuteronomy 28. Let's get back to that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 53. Thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body and the flesh of thy own sons and of thy daughters.
So people begin to starve. Israelites began to starve because they were cut off from food was cut off, resources were cut off, while this Roman army was trying to starve them to death by surrounding the walls and cutting off everything. And they did do that. And this is true history. Okay. And they ate the fruit of their body. They turned to cannibalism. Israelites turned to cannibalism, eating the fruit of their body, meaning eating their children. Okay, go ahead.
Which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege and the straightness, in the siege and the straightness, or thine enemies shall distress thee.
So in that siege, in that straightness, while you was distressed and you were starving, this is what God's people turn to. Go ahead.
Verse 4. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
This is, and I just had this thought about this is oppression right here. Like this is what happens when you're in poverty. The point I'm making is that we did an interview. This was a month ago. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how in the streets, people were happy during the era of the when they was giving out the money, the PPP loans and all of that, the stimulus money. People were happy in LA, right? Like people you normally would be beefing with, you'll see them in the streets and they'll see you, y'all enemies, and y'all just look at each other and nod each other up and go about your business. Like when people and the joke was when people have money in their pocket, they feel good about themselves. Right. You know what I'm saying? When you have money or when you have no worries as a man, when you have no worries and you can put food on the table and you can make sure your children have clothes on their back and have a roof over their head, you don't have the stressors or you don't have, you're not agitated and upset for those things that you usually would be. Right. But when you are in a fight for your life and you struggling to get by and you working and your check look like this or you can't get a job or something like that, your brother becomes your enemy.
Right.
Everybody is an enemy because life ain't good. Read that from again. We just unlocked a new breakdown right there. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 54. That the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
His eyes shall be evil to his brother. He wasn't evil to his brother, but because of this siege from the Romans and because what is going on around the gates of Jerusalem, now everybody is the enemy. Now I hate my own brother now. I hate him. Go ahead. And keep reading that part too. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And I hate my woman, the wife of his bosom. And I can't get along with this woman. I can't get along with this bitch. I can't stand this bitch. Because of this siege, it done changed this man to hate his brother, to hate his woman. Go ahead.
And toward the remnant of his children.
And his children, the children that he have left. Because remember, you were pushed to cannibalism to eat your children. So the remnant of his children, he hate them. He have an evil eye towards his children. He would leave his children. He would tell his children, you on your own. I can't deal with your mama. I can't deal with her. You on your own. Keep reading. This is mind blowing though. But go ahead.
Which he shall leave.
Mm-hmm.
So he will not give to any of them that of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat.
He would not get. It said, so let's slow it down. Who he will leave, meaning it just talked about his wife and his child, the evil eye towards them. Who he will leave, because he will not give up what? I'm paraphrasing.
So he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children.
He will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, meaning they're all starving. Now he's eating this child, and he don't even want to share it with them. This is the condition that the Lord said he would put our people in. Can you imagine that? That being in that condition? You talk about hard times. You talk about the stress and being oppressed. As a black person in America, you don't know nothing about this.
Right.
You ain't never been in no position like that. Go ahead.
Okay. So that he will give so he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege.
Because he don't have nothing to eat himself. So he turned selfish and he won't even. It's bad enough he turned to cannibalism of his own children, but he won't even share that with the wife and the other children that he has. That is, I don't know anything worse than that condition. That is terrible. And that is something that the Lord would do to his people. And it did happen. It's written in history. It's literally written in history. It's written in the records. Go ahead, Art.
And in the straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you.
Now it's talking about the woman. Go ahead.
Which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground. For delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
Now the woman, she wouldn't even put her foot on the ground, meaning she wouldn't put her, Israelite woman would not even put her bare foot on the ground. You know, I see women walk barefooted now. She wouldn't even do that out of being so soft and tender. Now she done turned evil, and she done turned an evil eye to her husband, to her man, the man that the Lord gave her. Now she hates him. She can't stand him. You know, if he can't, if he can't pay all the bills, she don't want to be with him today. She turned evil. He turned evil towards her and the children. Go ahead.
And toward her son and toward her daughter.
And
toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
So she would turn evil to her, the fruit of her womb. It says the young one that come from between her feet, meaning they come from between her legs. They come out of her body.
Right.
She would turn evil to that daughter, evil to that son. This is a curse. You understand? Go ahead, Abba.
Okay. And toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness.
It says she shall eat her children for one of all things secretly in the siege. The man did it openly, but the woman would do it secretly. Go ahead.
Okay. For she shall eat them for one of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name.
Salakia. Let's start 58 over again. That's my bad. Go ahead.
Verse 58. And if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, the Lord, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues and of long countenance.
So all of those terrible things we just read about the enemy that would come, the prophecy of having the symbol of the eagle, the treatment of how the way the Romans would come and they would besiege the gates and push the Israelites to a level of degree of starvation where they cannibalized their own children and wouldn't even share with the people that were in their family, and how they would have an evil eye, how the man would have an evil eye towards his brother, the woman towards her husband and her children. All of those things were a result of not worshiping the Most High in sincerity, following the law, statutes, and commandments. Read 58 again. I want to break that down.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, and the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful.
The Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, meaning it's not a good wonderful. It's a bad wonderful, is what he's saying. The wonderful would be something that you had never seen before, and it would be all bad. What we just read was all bad. And like I said, there's nothing that you can think of right here that no condition you've seen black people in as far as, okay, aside from the lynchings and the burnings, right? When you talk about being pushed to a level of starvation that your only recourse is to look at your smallest child and say, well, damn, I'm gonna have to eat my child in order to survive. That is terrible. That's terrible, but this would happen if you did not fear God and fear the Most High in the glorious name of Yahweh. If you did not fear what the Lord said, was the end result. It was the end result. And the coldest part is this was written as a prophecy, and it did actually happen because, of course, we know the Israelites didn't do it. But you got to understand, like I said this last week, when you're reading the Bible, you're reading, records. You're reading scrolls that were put together by the Greeks, and they called it a Bible.
Right.
But before that, these are scrolls written down by scribes of the Bible. Oh, well, we know as the Bible today. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 59. The Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed even great plagues, and of long countenance, and sore sickness, and of long countenance.
Of long countenance, meaning these things would go on through generations. These plagues, these curses, unto your seed, meaning the generations after these generations, far down the line, they would be feeling the heat from this. Even today, we still feel the heat from this. We still feel the heat because we have a level of rebelliousness in us that sometimes, we have to learn the hard way. Keep going.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, they shall cleave unto thee.
So, I'm sorry, read that again about Egypt.
Come. Verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
So all the diseases that the Israelites was afraid of in Egypt, he said he gonna bring those upon you, and they gonna cleave unto you. They gonna stick to you. Keep going.
Verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
He said also all the sicknesses and plagues that are not written in this book of the law.
Right.
So the Lord had already written it down. Like, if you do not follow these law, statutes, and commandments, not only will you get the diseases that they had in Egypt, you're going to get stuff that ain't even came out yet. You're going to get stuff that's not even written down in this book. That explains what is the Hunter virus and all of these all of these different things that you think that are new. Well, they are new, but they were already written about before our time. Right. They would cleave unto our people. They would hit our people. Go ahead.
Verse 62.
And
ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldst not obey the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said we will be left few in number, like we were more than the multitude of the stars in number, and we would be left few in number because of death and destruction and plagues and diseases. And that has basically been what has happened to us. Whenever you want to look at anything, some of the worst killers of black and brown people, all you have to do is look at what's affecting us in our health. The heart disease, the high blood pressure. It's so many things that affect us. And I just learned that I didn't know that dialysis, you could have kidney failure because of high blood pressure. I didn't know that. I was like, damn. So high blood pressure is the cause of a lot of other things that can kill you. And they say that the black people, or the people who went through the transatlantic slave trade, are the number one people with high blood pressure or hypertension, which is, you gotta ask yourself, I mean, is it spiritual? I think it is. I think it's one of them things that wasn't even talked about, written down, that is cleaved unto us because of our disobedience and our ignorance of who God is, and first of all, who we are, and that we should be following the Most High. We should be following the law, statutes, and commandments, and living righteously, okay? And not following our oppressor, living wickedly and eating what he eats, doing what he does, and celebrating what he does. And so we have all of these things like, sickle cell, where they say it's just a black disease. And you can say what you want. I'm not mad at people that say, well, that was created in a laboratory for black people, or AIDS was created in a laboratory to kill all black people. However it got here, we know that these things are cleaving unto us, like the Lord said they would. Go ahead.
Verse 3, and it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoice over you, as the Lord rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you.
Damn.
And to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Damn, that is, that should, something like that should put fear in your mind.
Right.
Like, damn, the Lord will rejoice to do good for you, just like your children. You think about a child, and you rejoice to be able to do good things for your children, to be able to provide good things for your children. Imagine being rejoicing to do something evil to your children. It happens. It happens. You know when it happens? When your child has disobeyed you, and they made an ass of themselves and embarrassed you in public, or went to school and acted a fool, or just did something they were never or not supposed to do, and you have to punish them, you will rejoice in punishing them.
Right.
You would, it's not that you're actually happy, but you are eager to put the lesson down. You're eager to put your foot down and let them understand you cannot do this. This is the result of this is the consequence of your actions.
Right.
and you're going to take this punishment because you deserve this punishment. That is exactly what the Lord is saying. He will rejoice in doing bad to us, rejoice in plucking us off the land. The thing about it is the difference is you're just doing something that's very small in the big picture as a parent. When the Lord decides to punish you, that means that you could be leaving this earth. He could be plucking you up out of here. Like, this nigga gone. He's gone. She's gone. This is the last time. They're gone. Get the send a command, send an angel, take 10,000 of them out right now. Gone. It's a difference when the Lord is upset with you as a group of people, right? And we establish how the Lord uses another people to do the punishing. He has always done that. He used the Assyrians against the Israelites. He used the Babylonians against the Israelites. He used the Persians and Medes against the Israelites, the Greeks and the Romans against the Israelites. And of course, Americans against his people, the Israelites, Europeans, Spanish Europeans, English Europeans. He's used Koreans, Moabites against his people. He's used all kinds of people throughout the Bible to use sword as a whipping stick against his people to correct his people. Many of y'all will say, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Let's just keep going. There's something I want to bring out about that, about him using people, other nations, to do the handiwork. Go ahead.
Verse 64, the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Now we know this, but we know that God's people were scattered across the earth, right? But more specifically, once they're scattered across the earth, they're serving all type of gods. There's archaeology to show that black people in West Africa, Israelites, were trying to serve Hamite gods also. When black people got over here, they were trying to serve white Jesus. And when we look at the wood and stone represents the Christian cross and the Muslim and Islam, Christianity and Islam. How do we know that? Because of the wood and stone. But just in general, in ancient times, people would fashion idols out of wood and stone. Okay. But the most significant idols that we know today in modern times is the Christian cross. It is by far, people are indoctrinated under Christianity. More people are indoctrinated under Christianity or follow Christianity than any other religion. And then Islam would be second. And so Islam is a rock in Mecca that they circle around. You know, they worship. You can go read about it. You can go look that up, search that up. And every cross is made out of wood. I mean, and that is the symbol of Christianity, where Jesus Christ was put on wood, and they replay this on Easter and everywhere with a white Jesus holding a down piece of wood, walking and getting whipped. I mean, I don't have to go deep into it, but that is the breakdown for that wood, those other gods that our forefathers never knew. They never served those gods. Israelites never served no cross, no rock, or nothing, like no stone, anything like that. Go ahead, Ibad.
So, like, if I could, the thing about the cross was everybody was getting crucified on crosses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what makes it so specific that Christ was crucified on the cross? That was a very common Roman execution.
Yeah.
Or punishment. So it's just so stupid how, Christians were, everyone was getting crucified on the cross. It was not special to Christ.
That just shows you the lack of studying for themselves, Christians individually, and like it's kind of like a cult follow. It is a cult following where they just believe what they believe without ever researching why they believe what they believe. And what Ibad was saying is so true. Is the Christian, or should I say, the being crucified on a stake was the form of corporal punishment in the Roman Empire. So anybody that was a criminal and sentenced to death would be crucified. And so it's just their way of taking your life, of corporal punishment, or what you call it? When they kill people here, what do they call it? Death row? Is that what they call it when they kill people here? Death row. Yeah. It's like Say it again. Death penalty. It was their death penalty. It was the Romans' death penalty. That's all it was. And so it really makes no sense that Christians wear a cross as a symbol of Christ when really that was a symbol of his execution. It's similar to you if your loved one was electrocuted in an electric chair. Executed in an electric chair, you wear a cross, electric chair. Or if your loved one was killed by a gun, you wear a medallion of a gun on a chain and kiss it as though that's in reverence to them. Same as with a cross. The cross has nothing to do with Jesus Christ, other than the fact that that was the Roman way of execution, and he was put on a cross, crucified on the cross. Keep reading.
Verse 65, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and falling of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
This is the reality now, even now, where God's people are scattered all over the earth. And let's specifically talk about black and brown people right here in America. And you have trembling eyes and failing hearts. Read it again.
Come on, verse 65.
And
among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
You find no ease in this place. You are always accused. You are a legal alien. You are a criminal. You were planning to steal water, rob a convenience store for some water. Go ahead. Read it from the top again.
Come on, verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease. Neither shalt the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, a falling of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
You shall have a trembling heart and falling of mind, and what else? And a trembling heart. And a trembling heart, meaning you are always terrified in this place.
Right.
You can't get rest in this place. It's always a worry of what you need to do to stay afloat in this kingdom. You are always worried about your children. You're worried about yourself, right? You have no rest in this place. There is no rest in America, not for black and brown people, not at all. Keep going.
Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and day. It's like day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
It says your life shall hang in doubt before you. Your life, in a lot of black and brown people's mind, your life is in doubt. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. You don't know, right? You just don't know, what tomorrow brings. And you're always worried. And you're always concerned about this and that. And you have anxiety. And it's so many things that pull you from each way, trying to just survive in this kingdom. Read that again, please.
Verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night.
You shall fear day and night. Your life is in doubt before you. And a prime example of how your life is in doubt before you is because we don't know who we are. And we're raised a certain kind of way in this place. We're not raised with the Lord in mind. We're not raised with a meditation of righteousness and morality and understanding of who's who. Like, we're God's chosen people. The white man is the devil. No one is really for you. And so when you out in the world, you have to behave a certain kind of way. If not, or should I say, because we don't, and because people don't have this, now they're in the world and they're moving a certain type of way where it is a certain kind of energy that comes back and takes their life. Like this 14-year-old that we talked about earlier today. So we don't have the tools to even live right without the truth, without the knowledge that we're getting out of these scriptures right now about what the Lord said 4,000 years ago. We can't even survive. We have a failing heart. Our life is in doubt. It hangs in doubt every day. For Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that don't operate off the basis of the law, statute, and commandments and the morality that is in the Bible. If you're not living that way, your life is in doubt. It hangs in doubt every day. And you could be, by all accounts, a good, quote unquote, good person that don't bother nobody. It does not mean that a car won't hit your car and knock your car off the road tomorrow. It does not mean that a stray bullet won't fly through a window and hit your child tonight. It does not mean that. Your life hangs in doubt, and you better understand that. You better understand it. If you're not doing what the Lord says, you have no protection. Keep reading.
Verse 67. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even. And at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning.
Your ancestors woke up in the morning and said, I wish it was the evening time. I wish the day was over already. You know why? Because they had to get up, eat some damn slop, and stand in the beaming sun for 16 hours picking cotton. You understand that? Your ancestors felt like, man, I wish the day was gone already. I wish it was over already. Your ancient ancestors felt the same way. Why? Simply because they was not fearing the Lord, and they didn't have the knowledge to. But now we have the knowledge to. Keep reading about
verse 68. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, for the fear of sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Verse 68.
So for the fear of the heart which thy fear, and for the fear of what thy eyes see. I'm paraphrasing. For the things that you see, and just the natural fear that you have, you wish, like, you know, at nighttime it'd be morning time. You wish the night to be over. The things that you've seen in your life, the things that you see happen to other Black people, the things that you see when you get pulled over by the police, stuff like the experiences that we have as people, as a group of people, as individuals, we would be in fear of our life all the time, all day long. Go ahead.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Oh my goodness. This is one of the reasons why we know without a shadow of a doubt who these prophecies are talking about and who they are not talking about.
Right.
This is a bedrock scripture in the ISUPK since 1969, where the Lord decided to reveal this truth of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians being God's chosen people.
Right.
Let's get it.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
It's just so much in this precept. First of all, we start off with saying the Lord will send you into Egypt again with ships. Now, we are when this is being spoken to, the Israelites, they're in the wilderness, and Moses is telling them this. So you're talking about Egypt is really not that far away, and it's really not a point to hop on a boat and go to Egypt. It's not a logical thing to say, like, or to think. For the people, the naysayers, the people that say, oh yeah, this is talking about walking back down to Egypt. This is not what it's talking about. It is talking about going into slavery. How do we know this? Because Egypt is a Greek word, right? And in Exodus 20:1, the Bible says that Egypt is the house of bondage, meaning Egypt is a metaphor for bondage. It's being used in 68 as a metaphor simply for bondage. You will go into Egypt again, but it adds something extra to that. It don't say you will walk down to Egypt, like there is a precept that says walk down to Egypt. It says you will go into Egypt again by ships. SHIPS. You will be put on ships. He's not talking about a few of you, not two of you, but the nation of people Okay, as a large group, let's just say a large group of a chunk of God's people will be going back to Egypt on ships. Now, when you think about that, you say, what people claim to be God's chosen people first? We got to throw that one out there first. Like, first of all, who even claims to be God's chosen people? Because it's not black and brown people. You don't never walk around and hear black people say they God's people. If they do say it, they're saying it in a Christian way. They're saying it like, the blood of Jesus way. They don't claim to be the biblical ethnic people that descend from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Ezekiel, David, Solomon, Christ. They don't believe that. But we do. And we're going to get to that. But there is a people that say they are God's chosen people. They're called Israelis. They're called Jewish people today. They're in the land of Israel right now, shooting bombs at hospitals filled with women and children. But did this ever happen to them? No. Didn't happen to them. Never happened to them. In fact, these same people that claim to be God's people, that say it out loud and proudly with their chest out, they never even were considered to be connected to the ancient Israelites. They come from Eastern Europe, by the Caspian, the Caspian Sea. They are an Indo-European people that decided to convert and follow Judaism. And today they are considered the people in the book, when we know they don't fit the curses. They don't fit the blessings. They don't even they don't fit the blessings, and they don't even fit the curses. Right? Nowhere in there it says that you would destroy a people and drop bombs on people and rule people with a sword and all that. They don't say that, which what they're doing right now at the Palestinians. I can't find that scripture in the Bible. But what I can find is a people, as a group of people, who have suffered many of these things that we read about, not just today, but last week. And now they went on cargo ships or cargo. We'll find out what it is. They went on ships to go into bondage. That's all we know in the beginning. Let's read from there. All we know right now is these people went on ships. They would go on ships. Let's go.
Verse 68.
Please.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships, okay.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So by the way of where I'm telling you this at, go ahead.
Oh God, thou shalt see it no more again.
You shall see this place no more again. If this thing happens, it comes to pass because of the curses and you not following God, you are going to go into ships and you will not see this land where I'm telling you this at. Translation. Go ahead.
Oh God. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
You shall be, and there, when you go in bondage, into bondage by these ships, you will be sold to your enemies, meaning people who are not your people. Sounds familiar. As bondmen and bondwomen. That means slave men and slave women. This is not indentured servitude. This is slavery. This is chattel slavery. Now, this never happened. This only happened to one group of people that I know in history. Listen, I'm not the, I had a little bit of technical college, like the 8-month college. I'm not the smartest, person, you know what I mean? But I think I know a little history about who are the people, the only people in the world to be put on cargo slave ships and be sold by their enemies in chattel slavery. I know it didn't happen to the people who claim to be God's chosen people in Israel today, but I know it did happen to a certain group of people. I know it did happen to black people. And guess what? A lot of y'all don't know that it happened to Mexican people, that it happened to Dominican and Puerto Rican people either. In fact, the historical record shows that the first people put on ships and carried as slaves were actually Mexicans, Dominicans, and Puerto Ricans going back to Spain before the transatlantic slave trade really got rolling. So when people say, okay, it doesn't apply to brown people, oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Keep going, Abad.
Oh, God. And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you, meaning no man would redeem you out of that. And guess what? Nobody redeemed black people out of the transatlantic slave trade. Nobody came and bought them out, purchased them, and freed them. That didn't happen. So we see the curses point to specific groups of people. It points to Native American Indian people. It points to Mexican people, and it points to black people, or should I say Hispanics when I say Mexicans, because it's a broader group there. We're talking about the West Indies and the Yucatan Peninsula, and we're talking about Central America. And so these are the people that have experienced these curses in real time, in real history. You can't find other people that have experienced everything we read about in Deuteronomy from front to back in its entirety, other than these black and brown people.
Right.
And that tells you who God's chosen people really are. It is black, Hispanics, and Native American Indian people. That proves who he is talking to. That proves who the Bible has always been talking to. In fact, the Bible is the law, statutes, and commandments, the prophecies, and the history of one nation of people. It is the Israelites of the Bible. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the biblical ethnic Jews of the Bible, and no one else is. Anybody else that's saying they are imposters. And in fact, when you look over there in the land of Israel today, you are literally witnessing the greatest case of identity theft the world has ever seen. All right. And with that, that's the class. Let's clap it up. One more thing, Abad, before we close out. I almost forgot, but I said I wanted to talk about this. How the Lord uses other people. Let's get that. Let's get how the Lord uses. Give me the scripture, no people. I will use the no people. And we're going to end with this. Because this, I'm so glad I remembered it. Because this you might ask, people have asked this question, I'm sure, in their head before. And the question I'm talking about is 32, give me 32, 32 and 21. Yes, Deuteronomy 32 and 21. The thing is, people say, okay, well, how? So well, we established this earlier, that first of all, the Lord uses other nations to punish his people, and he has always done that. Now, when you look at Psalms 83, you see all the nations that conspire against God's chosen people. When you look at the history of the different kings in the different nations, like it's Assyrians, Babylonians, Persian Medes, Greeks, the Lord used these nations to be a punishing stick on his people for our disobedience to following him. Now, in the physical world, say like today, people will say, and I'm sure you understand this, you look at black and brown people and you say, we're better than all of the other races. We're better than white people. And I've even heard black people say, how is it that the white people were able to put black people in slavery? Because we're just, physically better, intellectually better in all of those areas. The reason they were able to do that is because the Lord used them to do that. He allowed for that to happen. If we were righteous and morally sound as far as doing what the Lord said, that could never happen to us.
Right.
We could never be conquered. We could never be enslaved. We could never be shot in the back and nobody is punished and get off scot-free. That would never happen. But the Lord has used these people to provoke you to anger, to provoke you, for you to ask the question, how could this be? For you to go in your room and yell and punch a hole in the wall and say, how is this? It's because the Lord allowed it to happen. The Lord wants you to be provoked to anger. And then you'll start asking the question, why? Why did this happen to us? Does God hate us? Are we supposed to just be slaves? Right. Why this happened to us? Why is such a, this is a terrible stain and a terrible wound on our people, on the psyche of our people. A lot of y'all, I believe, you're embarrassed of the history of slavery, and you should be, but you should be mad, and you should be trying to understand why a people so great could be reduced so small and be conquered by a people who clearly are not better than them. I'm going to use the analogy again of a parent and a child. It's like you're a parent, and it's like you have a child that, let's just say your child has gotten in trouble with you. And usually if your child is in good graces with you, they can play a game. They can play a game, play with toys, play a video game. But now they're on restriction. They can't play the game. And you allow the child from next door to come in your house and play the game while your child watches that child play the game. What you think how that child is going to feel? They'll feel like, this is my mom, and you letting them play my game and I can't play it? You letting them be great and I can't be great? What? That's the same idea of the Lord allowing another nation that you better than, that is not his people, to rule over you. So you should be fucking mad. You should be so mad that you say, I'm going to live righteous and I want to see the return of Christ. I'm going to put down the drugs. I'm going to stop being evil to my brother. I'm going to stop being evil to my woman, to my sister. I'm going to stop being evil to my children. I'm going to do everything I can to lift up the head and the spirit of my people and to usher in the next return of Jesus Christ. I'm going to put in my brick and I'm going to do the best that I can to fix my nation. And the best that I can that the Lord could look down on my people and have compassion and turn the tables back to where we on top. You should be upset that another people that you know that you're better than is ruling over you. Either you're going to be upset or you're going to just go back and get high. Let's get that out, Bob.
Come on. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 21. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities.
The Lord said that we provoked him. We moved him to jealousy with things that are not God, worshiping things that are not God. You're still doing it. You're still walking around the house burning sage and wearing rocks around your neck. You're still talking about the universe is God. You're still talking about your God. You're still doing things that are provoking the Lord to anger. Go ahead.
Oh my God. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
And so the Lord said, I'm going to move you to jealousy with those who are not even a people. Go ahead.
Oh my God. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. You are up under a foolish nation. You're up under a nation that follows a man that paints himself orange. You're up under a nation that follows a man that can't even articulate himself properly as the what did you call it? As the president of the United States. You are up under a people, right, who says that it is okay for two men to adopt a child and raise it, and said that's a loving family. You are up under a foolish nation, and you should be upset about it. Go ahead, Ock.
Anger, for a fire is kindled in mine anger. It shall burn unto the lowest hell.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Will come and shall consume the earth with her increase and set on fire the foundations of the mountains.
And because of our lack of knowledge now, because it's not that we can't learn what we need to learn now. It's more about us being foolish and ignorant and not wanting to get out of the mindset and stop following our oppressor's ways, right? And because of the fact that we don't want to serve the Lord and we're doing everything that we want to be doing, and we did it back then, the Lord's anger was kindled.
Right.
Like when I said what happened in Jerusalem when the Romans came and destroyed it and got around the gates and wouldn't allow water to come in, food to come in, and the Israelites was pushed to starvation to where they cannibalized their kids. You got to ask the question, why is the Lord doing this to us? Why are we going through this? You're reduced to eating your kids. You have to, any wise person would have asked the question, Lord, why is this happening? Why are we put in this position? Why are you put in a position where you only believe that you got to rob somebody, or you believe you got to sell dope to put food on the table? Why are you even pushed to a position like that, right? Because we have kindled the anger of the Lord.
Right.
And because we did that, he decided to use a foolish nation to be over us. They're not better than us. They're not wiser than us. They don't have more humanity than us. They damn sure is not as forgiving as us, because we are the biblical ethnic Jews of the Bible. We are God's chosen people. And God damn it, we need to start acting like it. And with that, that's the class. All right. All right. Thawah Israel for y'all rocking with me. Give y'all some shout outs. Trooper Shakat. Trooper UPK Shalat up in here. Sister Kappa was up in here. Princess Asa was up in here. Kalmaz Baf was in here. Sister Barata now was in here. Brother Matham was up in here. And yes. All right, Israel, we'll see you next week. We'll see you next Wednesday, and with another good topic so that we can raise up Israel. And with that, shalom, Israel. Right?